Yo, what's happening, people? Okay, we is live right now, live from the village right now. It is 3 minutes past 8 p.m. right now. It is the 16th of January 2024 right now. We're in a new era right now. One stream a week right now. Tuesdays 8 p.m. right now. I'm about to kick it off with movie night right now. A new season of movie night right now. Mixing it up with Stallone movies, along with Friday the 13th movies, along with A Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It might take a while to get through. It just might. But that's what we're doing right now. Starting off with Rocky from 1970. I don't even know what year it was, but it was a long time ago. 77, I think. 78 maybe. Next week we play video games and it's back to whichever we're watching next week. But anyway, that's what we're doing right now. So welcome one and all to the new era of Haze live streams. Hanging with Haze. Movie night, Tuesday movie night. No more Monday movie nights. Now it's Tuesday movie nights. Well, Tuesday stream nights. Because it's not just movies. Movies, games, we'll mix it up. But one a week from here on out. That's what we're doing right now. So let me switch over to this screen and just chat to y'all for a little bit. Okay, so yeah, man, we are doing one stream a week now. That's the plan from here on out. And we're kicking it off with Rocky. Where did I put it? There we go. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. I'm watching this on DVD, as you might be able to tell. Though if you have it on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming, or any other format you got it on, get it ready on 0 unless you want to press play. Let's see here. Does it say what year this film was? 1976. This was 1976. It is 1 hour and 59 minutes, 119 minutes. So we'll start this soon. It's a bit of a lengthy one, this one is. I've seen this before. I've seen it maybe, I think, twice before. I think, once or twice before. Not a lot. I don't think I've seen this one a lot. I think I've seen Rocky 3 more times than any other Rocky movie. But Rocky I've seen, I think, once or twice, I think. I like Rocky. It's a good movie. It's not my favorite Rocky movie. That's definitely 3. 3 is definitely my favorite for a lot of reasons. It's super cheesy, and Mr. T, it was just everything back in the day. And of course, Hulk Hogan is in it as well. That's fun the lips. But yes, that's my favorite. That's still to come. We're a good few weeks off of Rocky 3, but now it's Rocky 1, or just Rocky rather. And then next week we play some video games, probably Breath of the Wild. And then a week after that, it's Friday the 13th. That's how we're doing this. That's how we're doing this. But here we are, man, in the new era of Haze live streams. You know, let's see. My day's been pretty eventful. Had to take some stuff down to the recycle yard, so I did that. So I loaded up the car, took some stuff down. Then got my car cleaned. Had to get a new EV electric vehicle charger unit installed, which I did. So that's done now. Yeah, it was a lot going on today. And I mean, we'll see how things go. I mean, so far so good with the new EV unit. I would say the app that you use to control it, it's okay. I mean, it works fine. I would like a little bit more information on certain things, but I mean, it's nothing I can't really work around, so this is what it is. But yeah, man, that's been my day. Just been getting things done, and I haven't really done much creative stuff though. I did some stuff. I work on my podcast though. Just some minor things like minor editing and doing some reels and stuff like that, and uploading them and scheduling them to come out. The podcast is not gone. It's just there on a little break. Hopefully it's just a little break anyway. Hopefully it's just a little break. The plan is to come back in maybe February or March with the new season of the Uncivilized Arts podcast. But yeah, took a break for Christmas and New Year's. And that kind of stretches out into, sort of February-ish, just as people kind of settle into the new year and get stuff done and, hanging with the family and doing things and making their own plans and this, that, and the third. So yeah, like it took a break for Christmas and New Year's, but sort of planning to come back for maybe February or March with a new season and hopefully some new guests or maybe some old guests as well. Or hopefully some old guests too, because definitely a couple of people that do want to have back, and hopefully they can make time for me. But yeah, it's not stopped. It's just on a break. We were on a break. That's what it is for the podcast. What else? I've gotten quite a lot of comments on the Scream 2 video that I did for the movie channel. So I pull up, for those who don't know, I have a movie channel. It's called Haze's Movie Room. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. And I post the videos, I post videos where more often than not, I'm just kind of taking a piss out of a movie. Why such and such is trash. So this one's called Why Scream 2 is Trash. And the general idea is just what I normally do. Just kind of take the piss, make jokes, nitpick, that kind of thing. But, I try to make a few decent points along the way. Now, I can respect that not everybody gets what I'm doing. I get that. It is what it is. And I totally understand that with where YouTube is. Not everybody watches your whole videos before commenting. I get that. Just is what it is. Not really much you can do about that. But I've gotten quite a lot of comments on that video from people who, at least in my mind, have clearly not watched the video. Like maybe didn't even watch more than a minute, if even that much. Because they will say things like, all your points are silly. You make no good points at all. They will say something like that. But they'll give no actual specifics as to what I said that was bad, was wrong. So I'll comment back asking, so what did I say was wrong? And so far, not one of them has responded to me. Not one. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and claim to be perfect. I may have made many mistakes in videos. I mean, I know I've made mistakes in previous videos. But I've gone over that video. I feel like I've done pretty okay. But if I have got something wrong, then I'll accept that. It's just more the fact that somebody or a bunch of people are so quick to make comments on your videos that they clearly haven't watched. And it's like, if you're going to comment on something you haven't watched, at least comment in a way that it isn't so obvious that you didn't watch the video. You know what I mean? Don't make a statement about something you clearly know nothing about. Because like they'll say, like I said, be making a comment like, oh yeah, you've made no good points, or your points are stupid, L take, da-da-da. I said, all right, so what did I say that was wrong? Silence. Silence. So yeah, I mean, I may have got something wrong with that video. I may have. I mean, not to my knowledge, I think I've done pretty okay. But if I have got something wrong, I'll accept that. But if you're going to tell me I've got a bunch of things wrong and you can't even pick one thing that I got wrong, it's like, come on. You clearly did not actually watch the video. You didn't watch the video, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sahil Pedneka, that's a silly point. Just kidding. Yo, appreciate you coming through, Sahil. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream. We're about to watch Rocky today. Rocky from 1976. If you have it, get it ready on 0. If you don't, it's all good. You can still come along and have some fun. But we'll start that in just a moment. But how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming through. How's you and the crew? How's your 2024 going? It is 16th of January today. We are 16 days into 2024. How's the first 16 days of 2024 been for you? My first 16 days have been pretty okay, I think. It's just been a lot of planning, a lot of making phone calls. Not everything going quite as smoothly as I'd like, but overall, I think things are moving in a good direction. Yo, Sam B in the place to be. How is ye? Good evening. How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream as we're getting ready to watch Rocky from 1976. It is the new era of live streams, new era of Haze live streams. Hanging with Haze now once a week on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. every week for this foreseeable future. This guy again. Oh no, I think that's a different guy actually. I think anyway. I'm not. I think the one you're talking about was somebody else, but I think this is a different person. I think. Well, I guess we'll find out in a moment. Great day, 2024 already on track, getting new business, hitting the gym. Like I'm 16 years old. Oh, awesome! That is great. That is good to hear, man. That is good to hear. It's good to stay healthy. Stay healthy, stay fit, stay active, and yeah, man, just like be focused on things. I think that's a good thing. So yeah, big up to Sahil Pednekar for having a great 16 days of 2024. Hopefully, the remaining 300 and however many days that we got left of the year go just as well for you as well. But you got a great start, so that's awesome. That's awesome. But I was just saying, Sam, though, about the video that I put up on the movie channel, why Scream 2 is trash, and how just some of the comments that I've gotten, quite a few of the comments I've gotten it. I mean, I'm very aware that not everybody watches your videos when you put them up, or they certainly don't watch the whole thing. I get that. That's kind of a thing with YouTube. Not everybody watches the whole video, especially when. I mean, it's a 22-minute video or 20-something minute video. I get it. Not everybody's going to watch it. And when people don't really know who you are, they kind of make certain assumptions. I totally understand that's kind of a thing that a lot of people do, right? And I'm pretty okay with that. But what kind of bugs me just a little bit is that if you're going to comment, first of all, you shouldn't comment on videos that you haven't watched. Let's start there. You shouldn't comment on videos that you haven't actually watched. But, there's been a few more. Yeah, there's been a few more. But if you're going to comment on a video that you haven't watched, at the very least, say something super generic. Do you know what I mean? Just say something generic, like, that was good. Or, that was bad. You know what I mean? Just something super generic. I don't like it. And I just leave it there. That's all you need to say. I don't like it, and just leave it there. That's fine. All right, you didn't like it. I can't help that you didn't like it. It's just what it is. I can't really say much to you not liking a video. You're allowed to not like a video. Super generic if you didn't actually watch the video. But the fact that these guys have the audacity, they have the audacity to not only do they not watch the video, or certainly not the whole video, they then leave a comment as if they're trying to critique what my video is about. And it's clear from their comment that they haven't watched the video. Because they're talking about stuff like the biggest one is like things like one guy was saying what did we say? He said all your points don't make any sense. You're missing out context to make your point, and it was stuff like that. You're not making any sense, and you're jumping to conclusions with all your points. And I'm looking at this like you didn't watch the video. Like I know from that comment you did not watch the video. So I just wrote underneath his comment, what did I say that was wrong? And let me see now. Where did I write that? Let me go into my app real quick. I'm about to go into the app. He's probably replied by now. I'm trying to embarrass the guy by saying he hasn't replied. Let me see. Has he actually replied though? Okay, here we go. So he made that comment a day ago. I replied to him 23 hours ago. So not long after he made that comment. Still no reply. Granted, that's not been a day yet. But another one. Congratulations on having the worst Scream Take of 2023. This guy got 3 likes on his comment. I replied, what did I say wrong? That was 12 days ago. No reply. No reply in 12 days. And there's no one, to be fair, this was on a different video, but same sort of thing. Says, I don't think you understand horror and thriller genre. You talk absolute BS. That was a month ago. I replied, well, granted, I replied 13 days ago, but still. Really, what was wrong with what I said? No reply. No reply. So I'm just saying, if you're not going to watch the video, don't make a comment. And if you're going to comment, just stick to something super generic. Don't try and critique me, because I just might reply to you and ask for receipts. And it seems to me they don't have any receipts. So yeah. That's been my week. That's been my... Do I have to get in there? You can if you want to. I don't think they'd reply to you though, so it might be a... Might be a one-sided thing. They haven't watched it or they don't get satire. Exactly. I mean... And it is what it is, right? Like I said, I know not everybody's going to get what I'm doing. That's fine. I know the type, my style of humor isn't for everybody. Nobody's type of humor is for everybody. But I know my style of humor, you know, is somewhat niche, so to speak. I get that. So I'm totally fine with not everybody getting what I'm doing or not everybody understanding. I'm joking around for the most part. It's fine. It's fine. But I do appreciate that there are some people that do, you know. And that video, it's done quite well, actually. Compared to, in terms of, like, views, it's done really well. Like, it's been up for 17 days. Well, almost 18 days. 17 days and 23 hours. And it's got over nearly 1,500 views. It's, I think it's on nearly. And it seems most people do like it. But it's just their comment section's a little bit. Most people do like it. Most people do like it. So yeah, I'm pretty appreciative of that. I'll just yeah. People who are actually mean to other people for no reason, not just insecure about themselves. No, for sure. 100% agree with that. You might remember me. Let me give you a hint. Martin Business. I recommended you the American Horror Show. Yeah. No, I do remember that actually. Yeah. I think you had a different name. Yeah, it was something about a client. Was that a client name or something? But yeah. No, I remember you. Yeah. When you did the screen one and I was prepared to be mad at you. Watched it, laughed and said fair. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, you got it, awesome. But yeah, no, I do like, that's the thing though, I do like the movies, you know, even though I make videos talking about why they're trash, I do generally speaking like the movies. I enjoy Scream. I like Scream a lot. I like Scream 2, even though it has She Who Shall Not Be Named in it. You know, I like that movie too. A lot of the movies that I talk about, like I'll say most of the movies that I talk about on that channel, I do actually like. There's maybe only one or two that I've done where I generally thought they were just bad or just boring films. But most of the films I'll talk about, even though I say this is why they're trash, I'm having fun with it. You know, I mean, I'm nitpicking, I'm joking around, and I'm pointing out some, because just because you like a movie doesn't mean that everything that movie does is perfect, right? It just means I could see its flaws, but I can enjoy it anyway. You know what I mean? I can see where they've done things that didn't quite work, but I still enjoy it and appreciate this movie anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can do that. Like, it's not an unthinkable thing to enjoy a film, even though, you know, the film doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense, or the film does things that, you know, seem a bit, that actually are a bit silly when you kind of think about it. You can still enjoy that film and accept that, you know, it has goofs or errors or things that don't quite add up. You know what I mean? And that's what I tried to do with that. Just have fun with it, you know. Just take the piss, have fun, nitpick, make jokes. But yeah, hopefully still make some good points in there as well if I can. And yeah, not everybody gets what I'm doing, but I appreciate those that do. Big up to those that do. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. Watching Rocky today. I'm watching this on DVD, which let me switch over to this screen. Where am I? Here we are. I don't know what's happened with people. People have lost their sense of humor. Oh, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Or if it's not lost, it's certainly changed to the point of being unrecognizable. So I don't know. Maybe we can bring it back. Well, I don't know if I can, but somebody can. Maybe Dave Chappelle can. Maybe. But hopefully you're already on 0. Because the countdown goes 3, 2, 1, play. And in 3, 2, 1, play. Actually, I'm not even sure Dave Chappelle can bring humor back. I mean, as good as he is, even he is constantly getting like backlash and complaints and all kinds of things. And so I'm just saying, like, if even Dave Chappelle can't bring humor back, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. The first Rocky movie, I mean, okay, this is 1976, but it's such a different feel to this film than pretty much every other Rocky movie afterwards. Well, maybe apart from 2. I think from 3 onwards, certainly from 4 onwards, the feel of Rocky movies is massively different. So last week, I met a dude who looks like Black Bolo Young. No kidding, oh really? Or just big, massive, muscly dude. Did he do martial arts for you? He tried to stomp you out? Oh, Rocky's pissed off now. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. Can't lie, he scared me though because dude kept staring at me very, very intent. Well, I mean that's just his face, really. I mean, if he looks like Bolo Young, that's probably just his normal face. That's probably just his normal resting face. Like, he just looks mean all the time. Just. Like, that's his happy face. And when he's sad. And when he's excited. And when he just can't contain his, and when he just can't contain his joy. $40.55. Yo. Imagine having to get him punched in the face for $40. And you gotta wait 2 weeks to fight again. You ain't making no rent at all. John G. Al Vilsden. He did the Karate Kid movies. Yo, what up, Brax Spiver? Braxton. Brax Spivin, a place to bivy. I can't say that was the case because I was sat the other side of him and he would not stop looking. When I got off the bus, he was still staring. I said, if he gets off now, I'm running. Well, actually, it's not funny. Did he get off? I'm guessing not. It was snowing and sleeting down here. Damn, man, you guys get no good weather. Oh, thank God. Oof. Nah, I think that would scare a lot of people. Nah, I can't lie. That would scare me too. Like, if I was just on the bus sitting there, somebody just staring at me. Especially if they're like some big Bolo Young looking dude. Is like, yeah, ain't nothing good about to happen. Because you know, like, when somebody's like that big, like, you can't stop them. You know what I mean? Like, whatever they want to do is like, you can't stop them. Like, it's, you could protest, but that's just pretty much it. Like, you can't stop them. Like, so it's like, whatever they're gonna do to you, they're going to do it to you. So yeah, like, I think I'd be pretty scared too. I'd be like, you know what? I need to run as fast as I possibly can, and then run even faster than that. Like, if he has to run though, like if the dude got off the bus and you had to run, do you reckon you could have outrun him? Like, how far are you getting? Are we talking like we all the way home? Or are we talking about this little piggy got made into roast beef? humble beginnings, man. Once his house was like a minute away, I would have been fine. Okay, cool. You and your sister could have ganged up on him then. I know this song that they're playing on the movie. Summertime, that was it. Yeah, summertime. Summertime, Kool in the Gang. Or Summer Madness, rather. It's called Summer Madness by Kool in the Gang. But it was used by the Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. And they, for their song called Summertime. She was with me. She was watching him stare at me. I'll say he stared at you. She stared at him. Okay, that's fair. Do they have pet shops like this anymore? I don't think they do. Where they just keep all the animals in cages, waiting for people to come in. I don't think they do that anymore. Rocky's got a hots for her. Rocky was an enforcer for the mob. Everybody forgets that part. I told Elliot about it, and he said, "Are you sure?" Was he looking at you like, "Come on, dude, I know"? Well, I mean, if somebody's looking at you, you can kind of tell, like, their eyes are pointing in your direction. That's just usually how that works. Though, to be fair, he could be like wonky-eyed, you know, like he could have like a lazy eye, or like two lazy eyes. So he's not really looking at you. It's just like, it looks like he's looking at you. But yeah. That's the thing, though. Another about like people, like, cause you, especially because you don't really know what they're on. Like, you might think people are cool or whatever, but people be carrying guns, knives. You know. No, even just see. Doing you feel is very intense. Even well, that might have been the case at first, but when I got off the bus, I was back. He was looking at me through the window. Damn. Yeah, that is creepy though. But yeah, you gotta be careful though, because like, you have no idea what people are on, man. Like, people could be mad, carrying stuff, willing to do it, ready to do something. Like, if you confronted him, that could have made it worse. You just don't know. Just don't know. And some guys out there, they just have absolutely no tact, no understanding of like personal boundaries, space, or anything like that. Tried to give the benefit of the doubt, but it was very creepy. So I felt very off about that. And yeah, no, for sure. For sure. You're a tomato. A tomato. You're a tomato. This guy played the Penguin in the Batman movie. Man. So how are you feeling now, though? Like, I mean, because I mean, it's bit. I mean, I guess it happened. Was it today? You said, right? Are you feeling okay, or? Because that's a lot to go for. I think, you know. Braxton, the Snake Fiend, says, Do you ever deal with creepy people, Braxton? Do you have any creepy encounters like that? Or similar? Last week, it's all good now. Okay. Yeah. Some guys out there, man, but just have no idea. Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on with this guy, of course, but I'm just saying in general, it's like, it's like guys out there just seem to have no idea about being around people. You know, like when you're a kid, like you do stuff because you just don't know any better. When you get to your adult years, you should know better. Like, I'm not saying you got to have it all figured out and you're going to get it all right all the time. Of course not. You're still learning, and there's always that. But there's certain things you should understand as an adult when it comes to being around people. Like staring at people is never okay. Like if you see somebody and you fancy them, okay, I get that. That could happen. But then staring at them with an intense look on your face, like that is never okay. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of dudes out there that don't seem to understand that. I feel like they're owed something. Well, I'm creepy, so it keeps those types away. Really? So you're the type to stare at women on the bus? Is that what you're saying, Brax? You're the type to stare at women on the bus and have an intense look on your face? Being creepy is not a compliment, by the way, Braxton. So I don't know. Maybe being creepy means something different in Louisiana. But I think in most parts of the world, being creepy is not a compliment. It's actually not a good thing at all. Like, at all. I'm creepy. It keeps other creepy mofos away. Oh yeah, and honestly, what you're saying, I'm just saying, being creepy isn't a good thing. Like how creepy do you have to be to put off other creepy people? Like, I don't think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being so creepy, other creepy people look at you like, damn, man. Ugh. Like, that's not a compliment, dude. Like, Yesterday was interesting to, again, on the bus. First I was behind a pissed up old dude who was being a racist piece of crap. Had the kids with me, so I had to behave. And was sat on the bus. It got very It is to them. It is to them. Get there on somewhere. All right. Braxton is so creepy. Other creepy people don't want to hang around with him. But you know that means, like, if you're that creepy, like, nobody's going to want to hang around with you. Not just creepy people, but nobody's going to want to hang around with you. Like, nobody, if you're that creepy. Raw. 1976, you know. The bathroom got very full. Sophie was struggling, so I gave her phone. This lady sat next to her, who happened to be black. I said to Sophie, "Focus on phone or look at the window." This lady gave me a filthy look, and I was like, "I could explain, but you have already made an assumption, so I didn't bother." Yeah, people can be real judgmental about certain things. And in all honesty, the truth is like, even if you wasn't with the kids, like, yeah, again, it's not always a good idea to say something. Because, like, I mean, it's, okay, let me rephrase that. Of course, it's good to say something. Of course, it's good to speak up in these situations. But yeah, you do have to consider your own safety as well. You know, this person could get violent. You know, this person could get real mad, whatever. It could, or you don't know what could happen. I'm just saying, like, of course it's good to speak up. Of course it's good to say something, but sometimes you got to look at, well, there's a lot of people here. If it goes bad, I'm way out of my element. And I'm guessing this lady didn't say that. So I'm guessing this lady didn't say that to him herself, or did she? I'm gonna go ahead and guess she didn't. Once they see the skull designs on my clothes, they'll get the message automatically. Braxton, I hope this doesn't happen. I really do. But mate, you may end up living alone for the rest of your life. And that's not a good thing. You may think it's a good thing, but it's not a good thing. Because you might be at a point now where you're willing to push everybody away. And like you say, eventually they get the message and people just stay away. And one day you're gonna realize that you do actually want people around you. But by the time you realize that, where you realize you do want people around you, everyone else is going to be already, like you say, got the message. Just saying, man, it's not a bad thing to let people in. And, you know, just not be creepy. Right? Now, this lady thought I had a problem with her being next to Sophie, with me saying, look at phone or the window and not her. Surrounded, Sophie struggles like that being a... Oh, okay. I see. Well, she's giving you dirty looks over that. I mean... First of all, where Sophie looks is none of her business, so... The unwanted ones. Alright. Alright. Who hurt you, Brax? Yeah, the only one, so I'm directing that to the creepy mofos. Sure, like you want to keep the creepy people away from you, I get that. But out creeping the creepy people keeps everyone away from you is what I'm trying to say. Like being so creepy keeps everyone away from you, not just the creepy people. Everyone, even the wanted ones, even the good ones, don't want to be around. No one wants to be around anybody that's being creepy. Like, you can keep creepy people away from you and not have to be creepy yourself. She took it personal. I was like, I could explain, but the look you gave me, I made your own assumptions on my issue. Sophie was my main concern. No, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, she's making assumptions about things, and quite frankly, things that are none of their business anyway. People are going to do that. People are going to make assumptions, assume this, assume that. I mean, I guess in the end, there's not really much you can do about what people assume, but it just kind of sucks when they act on their assumptions and... She's probably like real lonely or something. Got no friends. I'm making assumptions now myself. Probably just like really sad and miserable. Oh. You just throw that whole turkey. Oh, you. I have to keep that to low minimum. Don't mind talking to people who have some sense. I'll make some guessing games. Specification. See in real. This is all I need. Your classic. Who hurt you? Well, who hurt you? What's her name? Or his name? I don't want to make too many assumptions, I guess. Oh, okay. What did they say? Oh, they have the. Do you mean they actually diagnose her with autism? So that's 2 kids with autism. Man, that's gonna be tough. Yeah, they filmed me to give the diagnosis. Get the official report in a few weeks. Of yeah, who's the he or she? Well, never mind. Anyways, because they ain't around, huh? Okay, all right. They ain't around. Would you kill them or something? Did Brax commit a crime? Did Brax have somebody taken out of this world? Brax burying bodies in the desert. Is that what you're saying? It's normal to me. Well, I guess it is. I guess indeed it is. Everybody's normal is different. It was self-defense. They got what they wanted, and I got what I wanted. So, oh wait, so for real, you, because I was joking when I said that. Are you actually being serious? Because I was just kind of playing around when I said that. Like, are you actually being serious, Brax, that you killed someone in self-defense? Like, is that a real thing? That you... If you don't mind, I mean, if you don't mind, what's the story there, Brax? If you're okay saying it. Hey, that did all these diagnosis things. I should be assessed also. That took a turn. For real. Man, that took a crazy turn. Damn. Would you get a diagnosis yourself though? Like 50 Cent said, a hole in that nigga head for fucking with me. Many men. Man, that is mad. So Braxton has a dead body on his hands in self-defense. That is, well... I'm not gonna bother. No. I mean, I guess at this point, I mean, you're 20... Was it 20... Oh, wait. 29. You've been 29 years. Yeah, why bother? No, I haven't had to. Not yet, at least. Oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. So speaking of speaking of laws, apparently there's discussion in the government about banning social media for 16 and unders, or for the under 16s. Max out here being creepy, possibly killing people. Now I find myself attracted to him. Sam likes them bad boys, creepy bad boys. Well, I guess I was wrong, Brax. Apparently, being creepy does get you some people around you. I guess I was wrong. Bad boys, serial killers. Many men wish death upon me. I'm just joking, by the way, Brax. Well, yeah. I guess when you talking to creepy people, you got to be clear that you're joking. It might take it a little bit too seriously. Might have your whole inbox flooded with messages about. So what's happening, huh? So what's happening? You said you want to hang out. That's what you said. You said that. You said that at 8 minutes past 9 p.m. on Tuesday, 16th of January 2024. You said that. I have proof. I kept the screen recordings. You said that. Many men wish death upon me. You want to see this body I got in my basement? I'm like, do I? You gotta say it right. Like Americans don't get down with random killings. That's what them white folks. The serial killers, that's their own reputation. That's not exactly true, actually. There have been quite a few black serial killers. So I mean, to be fair, yeah, not as common as white serial killers. I think that's fair to say. But you know, there's been a few. There's been a few. Also, speaking of serial killers, in 2023, there were over 3,200 serial killers active in the United States. In 2023. There were over 3,200 serial killers active in the United States of America. That's a fact that I looked up on the internet. People are reactors. If don't do any to them, don't do anything to you. I'm trying to find that thing that I found, but yeah, I can't find it no more. But yeah, over 3,200 serial killers. That's crazy, bro. Oh, this guy's being creepy himself, actually. Yeah, there have been black serial killers. So that's not their overall reputation at all. It's not their thing. They have no reason to go after random people. Well, I mean, clearly they had some reason. I ain't saying it's a good reason, but it would have had some reason. All right, here we go. Are we back? We back. Yeah, I'm not saying like I understand that there's way more white serial killers, but there are plenty of black serial killers. So I'm just saying this is a list of them, and there's some crazy dudes in here that I just read a few words about. You know, so yeah, like it's. The thing is though, like stereotypes of like what people are only really get you so far. When you kind of deep it, you'll find out none of them are really true. Like people have these stereotypes about, you know, black people don't this, or white people don't do this, or black people do this and white people do that, and yeah, there's truth to it. Stereotypes are generally based on some elements of truth. But the reality is that they're only true to an extent. So like they're not the be all and end all of any kind of demographic, you know what I mean? Like to say every single black person doesn't do a particular thing or only does a particular thing, as if to say there's only one way to be black. You know, the moment you do this thing, you're not black anymore. Like, come on now. It's like there are plenty of people of all kinds of skin colors that do all kinds of madness, good things, bad things, and in between. You know what I mean? So like to say that it's not black people's thing, it's a thing. And plenty of black people have done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the receipts of that. There's the receipts of that. It's a thing. That's not. And by the way, they were American, not British. So, Britain, we have our own problems. Best believe that. We have plenty of problems over here. Best believe. If we're talking serial killers, mate, that's an American tradition. There you go, lots of someone. It's not some personal stuff. It's poverty related. Yeah. Being still and on the face of serial killings. Alright. I'm from here, so obviously, I already know. Again, obviously. Alright. $150,000 to fight the world's champion. Well, anyway. What y'all think of social media potentially being banned for under 16s? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? That's the same as saying there is no female serial killers because it's there's white male, but some digging you'll find a fair few female serial killers. Oh yeah, indeed. Some real famous ones as well. I mean, not sure if famous is the right word to use. Maybe notorious is a better word. That list wasn't the black who deleted women. Most of them are black too, from 1975 to 2005. He came to Louisiana in the early 80s. Started telling his story a few years ago. I mean, I don't know not if he was on the list or not, but if he's not, that just means there's at least more people on the list than are on this list. I think it's stupid and very good because too many kids are on the social, but kids lie about age. The law won't prevent them from dating on. Well, yeah, no, that's probably true. Like, it's very easy to bypass a lot of those age restriction laws. Like YouTube is supposed to be for 13-year-olds and upwards. Like, if you're under 13, you're not supposed to be on YouTube. But we all know there's plenty of like 8, 9, 10-year-olds on this platform, whether they, use their parents' date of birth or they use their parents' account or whatever. It's an easy thing to bypass. I mean, I feel like the idea is somewhat sound, but I'm not sure it's the resolve that people might think it is. Like, I mean, I don't know what the exact reasons for them doing it are. I would assume it's to do with, people being insecure about, when they post pictures and self-esteem levels and that sort of thing. I'd assume it's something to do with that. Maybe not. But, yeah, I'm not. Whatever the reasons are, I don't think it's going to resolve it. So I feel like the answer for me wouldn't be to ban social media from young people, but to have classes in school where people learn to understand social media better. Because for better or worse, social media is a part of people's lives now, right? Social media, like as in, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, these things have been around for 15, 20 years or more, some of these platforms. You know, if you're 16 years old now, you've never known a life without Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Like, that's your whole life. So, for better or worse, social media is here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. So I don't think the answer is to ban it for young people, but to have classes on understanding it, understanding that what you see there isn't real, understanding that likes don't determine your value, understanding that you can use it for many great things, but you could also use it for many dumb things as well. So I just feel like part of school needs to be that, learn it for kids to learn that understanding, or to learn that rather. Yeah, as I said, I'm from here, so I know way better than those who was not from the US, better than most. And 29, 25, 23, 30, etc. You can have fun with guessing my age. As for the underage teens on social media topic, 100% agree. I did see something on Insta though where they were suggesting that the reason for the ban is because there are kids, like there are young kids who are making lots of money through these social media platforms, and apparently that's going to mess up the economy if people are making money. And I don't know, but I don't believe that's true. I mean, I did try to look it up online. I couldn't find anything to back it up. So it just seemed like this page was just promoting something out their arse, quite frankly. But it sounded ridiculous to me. Like, if kids were making lots of money on social media, that wouldn't be a reason for them to ban it. That'd be a reason for them to promote it to more kids, because the more money they're making, the more taxes they'll have to pay. They're not going to do anything to mess up their income. So yeah, I don't think that's true. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's anything to do with kids making money. Those kids would get taxed like everybody else. They make money, the government makes money. They won't ban it for that. I don't think so, but hey. Yeah, he blew him off, and now he wants to help him when he's got a chance at the championship. But yeah, I'm not sure banning social media is the best path forward, but certainly I do think kids understanding it better, and adults, quite frank, I think adults could do understanding social media better as well, because let's be real, like a lot of adults get messed up on social media too. So would it be a bad idea for some adults to get some social media classes as well? Biggest issue for me is all the predators online and the indoctrination going on right now. That's more dangerous to kids. Oh, more damaging to kids. Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's the type of thing people need help understanding, like people approaching you online and how to handle that. Because when I was a kid, it was all about don't talk to strangers, right? You probably had that as well. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. That was That's how you kept kids safe back in the day. Tell them don't talk to strangers. And though that's not exactly true in a sense that, of course, there's not every stranger is a bad person. There's plenty of strangers. Quite frankly, plenty of strangers have been nicer to me than people I know, quite frankly. But yeah, you know, you look at somebody approaching you on Insta asking for messages, like, how do you handle that? How do you handle that? My sister needs a car, so she believes everything she sees on social media. Oof. She's one of those Facebook aunties. One of those Facebook aunties. It's all like reading all these posts about conspiracy theories and cover-ups and every wild story that gets posted. Absolutely. Those AI TikTok stories, she believes they are real. Oh, those AI things are so prevalent these days. I couldn't even realize until maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago or something. But there's so many of these AI videos popping up, right? Like, I get AI is a big deal and it can help with a lot of things, but come on, like, how are people just like using AI for everything now? And just flooding the internet with these AI generated AI generated videos, you know, with these AI voices and generic AI statements, and it's mad. There's so many of them, and they're all almost the exact same format. And that's not to say that they're all bad, by the way. To be fair, some of them I've seen seem to have some interesting things, topics, but vast majority I've seen, they're just, even the ones that are, let's say, have an interesting topic to them, they just still seem generic. Like, literally no personality. And of course, it's AI, so it wouldn't. But it's like, how are people opting to do that versus making a video? That just seems wild to me. Like, AI videos should be at most something you try just for the fun of it, just to, you know, kind of see what it's like, just for the novelty of it, but not as a thing to do as a way of replacing making actual videos and expressing yourself in an actual way. Like, that's wild to me that that's become such a prevalent thing, these AI generated videos. That's wild. It would get to a point where they're so popular, most people won't know the difference between an AI video and a or no, actually, you know the difference. What I mean is, like, you'd be so used to seeing these AI videos, when you see a video made by a human, it probably just seems weird to you. We might be heading in that direction. All that. And my household story, she believes they're all real. She says she needs to put her phone now. Oh yeah, I've seen some of those. I feel like these days, anything I see on social media, whether it's a story or a reel or a whatever, especially if it's one of these videos where it looks like somebody's filming some kind of reaction of something, like something went down in a shop type videos. Anytime I see anything like that, I'm like, you know what? It's probably fake. It's probably fake. It's probably staged. You know, it's probably scripted. They're just acting it out. And to be honest, even if it was real, it's kind of like, so what? It has absolutely no effect on my life. $1976, you know, raw. But times have changed a lot since 1976, haven't they? Nope, same here. Just don't care anymore. There's just too many of them, and a lot of them are like, I mean, I get it. You know, it generates, you know, interest, and people like to throw in their comments and their opinions on things going on. Oh, this is what I would have done. This is what she should have done. This is what they should have did. This is what they did. They should have done this. And everybody likes to discuss this, and I get it. It generates interactions, and that's ultimately what they want. And I can't be mad at somebody trying to, you know, make a living or whatever. But as for me personally, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to comment on any of that stuff. Well, I probably have at one time, but most times I don't. Raw. Form a full opinion on a clip. That's also 9 times out of 10. Right. Oh, that's another thing as well, isn't it? Right, where you see a clip that is maybe, I don't know, let's say a minute long, 2 minutes long, or whatever. However long it is, it doesn't really matter. It's one clip out of how many things could have happened outside of that video, right? You don't know, you have no idea what happened before that video started rolling or what happened after that video stopped rolling. You have no idea of that. You just see what you see in that 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or however long that video is. And sure, you could see a fair amount in some of these videos. That being said, it is literally just that one clip, and everybody has these entire full-on, drawn-out, intricate opinions on what happened and what needs to be done. And it's like, bruh, like, it's a 2-minute video. Come on now. Come on now. There's no way you got all that from a 2-minute video. And it's like, if you can write like that, why bother with like social media? Like, you should be putting that to some use, like maybe writing, I don't know, like book reviews or you know what I mean? Like, if you could write like that, because some of these comments, like, I don't read them all because they're long, but some of these comments, they go on for paragraphs, and I'm like, mate, there's no way you got all that from a 2-minute video. You just see like the first, you know, when you read the first few lines of a comment that says more, and you press the more button, and it's just like, whoa. You ever see that? You read the first few lines, and you click the more button, and it's just, whoa. I'm like, nah. I'm not reading all of that. That's just no. If you can write like that, then, but you should like try to become an author or a journalist or something. Like, why are you wasting your time with social media writing these long drawn out paragraphs on 2-minute videos that is probably fake? That is crazy to me. You need to go outside more. All right, touch grass, as the kids are saying now. Go outside and touch grass. They're gonna sell that meat afterwards, though, or does it just get thrown out or something? Alphabet group, Karen's. Funny to watch though. Alpha. Oh wait, the LGBTQIA plus. Did I get that right? Did I get that right? LGBTQIA. I feel like I missed a letter now. LGBTQIA plus or wait, yeah. LMNOP, like, yeah, that. LGBTQIA LMNOP RST UVW XYZ. Like that's that group. I don't know anyone. Paulie's an angry man. I gave you my sister now. Raw. This is 1976. 1976, everybody. Raw. How times have changed, man. 1976. Oof. Yeah. People be funny, that's for sure. People be funny all day, every day. Well, as part of that group, and she wants to leave and start a new one. They do her wedding. Alright, so if Elle starts a new group, what will they call it? What's the name of this group? Every group needs to have a name, so we've got to think of a name for this group. I mean, I suppose in reality, Elle should think of the name herself, really. But since, you know, you're the mother and I'm misogynistic, I've got that toxic masculinity and all that. We have to think of a name for her. So, right, Elle's going to start a group. We need a name. How about the level-headed gays? I mean, that kind of makes sense, actually. Because, like, you know, if... You know what, let me not say nothing. Let me not say nothing. It's your daughter. I should let me just stop talking. stop myself if I... Nah, let me just stop talking. Just stop talking. I think I've probably already said enough. I've said enough. Yeah. Rocky doing one-handed push-ups. Are you supposed to do one-handed push-ups, actually? I don't think I can anymore. It's been a while. But are you supposed to do one-handed push-ups? I was able to do like maybe 3 in a row or something like that. Might need to try and get back to that. Back to doing them one-handed push-ups like... Oh, let's go. 1 sec. All right. That Rocky moment. How Rocky is dressed right now, like how he's dressed in the picture that I've got on screen, that is near enough to my running gear. Like, it's pretty close. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. Like the long sleeve sweater. Well, I have a long sleeve sweater. I think his one might be a short sleeve over a long sleeve. But yeah, it's a long sleeve sweater, tracksuit bottoms. I sometimes put a beanie on as well. I don't have a scarf though, so maybe I need to get a scarf. Especially it's cold right now. A scarf might come in handy. But I did go running today actually. And I actually did pretty well today, I think. I ran... Well, I ran 10K in 52 minutes and 47 seconds, which is pretty damn good, I think. It's my fastest 10K. But yeah, I had a pretty good run today, methinks. Where has it gone? I mean, in total I ran 8.15 miles in about an hour and 9 minutes, and I had an average pace of 8 minutes and 34 seconds. So I was pretty happy with that. She said the gays before the gays. Well, the old gays. I think the old gays was already a group, though. I feel like I've heard that before somewhere. The gays before the gays. Before the gays, there was the gays. How about Lady Gay Diver? I need to be stopped. I ain't gonna lie, man. I need to be stopped. I was nobody before. You ask her, she would tell you, oh, this is crap. Being gay has never been an issue in her life. No one cares. Yeah. I think it's like when you look at, say, discrimination across the field, across the board, whether through, you know, a person's sexuality or gender or race, ethnicity, religion, you know, any kind of discrimination, right? It's going to affect different people in different ways. I think that's always important to acknowledge. But I do feel like there is a danger that when I feel like sometimes people identify themselves too much with being discriminated against, and when that happens, it's not that. I mean, look, there's racist people in the world, there's sexist people in the world, there's homophobic people in the world, and I think we all understand that, right? And we all, you know, no one's trying to deny that's a thing, that it happens. And some of those people, you know, are in positions where they can make decisions that affect you. Some of those people are able to do things that really don't work in your favor and, you know, can make your life harder or miserable and that sort of thing. So I think we all understand that that's the thing. And there's certainly like places where it's more systematic and harder to get by, and we all understand that as well. So I'm not trying to diminish it or anything like that, but I do feel like there's a point where you have to, it's never the discrimination that stops you from achieving the things that you want to achieve in the world, because the only person who could ever get in your way of you doing anything is you. You know what I mean? Like, you decide when you quit. You decide when you give up. Like, you might meet a racist, a sexist, a homophobic person along the way, and they might do things that make certain things harder for you to achieve. But ultimately, you decide whether you keep going or whether you give up. And I feel like there's, in my view, and perhaps, you know, but I'm not claiming to know everything, of course, but in my view and in my empirical experience, it seems to me that there's a lot of people, or at least a decent number of people, who are just too quick to blame everything on external factors, to the point where nobody is really looking inwards and saying, well, what can I do? Okay, this thing happened, that sucks, that's not good, it's not fair, it's not right, and we can understand that. But ultimately, am I deciding to give up, or am I deciding to continue and find different ways of doing something? And I feel like it's always going to come back to the self. You know, it always comes back to the self. Like, you decide when to quit, you decide when to stop. And rather than building a whole kind of identity around being a victim or being discriminated against, you know, I feel like that doesn't really elevate anybody, you know. Yo, what up, Frozen Gamer? FG in the place to be. You know, I feel like that kind of attitude doesn't really elevate anybody. It just kind of keeps you stagnant, because if your whole identity is based around being a victim, you have no incentive to stop being a victim. If the attention that you receive and the accolades that you get are all based around your victimhood, then yeah, there's no real incentive to step out of that victimhood. It's always about, this thing happened to me, this bad thing, these bad people, these people are this, they said this, they said that, you know. And it kind of gets like that to the point where it's like, well, what exactly are we doing? I can't change somebody's opinion of me. I don't really care to. But what I can do is, if there's something that I'm trying to do and that person is an obstacle in my way, what I can do is either A, try to figure out how to get around that obstacle, right? And that's what it is when we're talking about any kind of discrimination. It's an obstacle. It's a difficult obstacle for sure, but it's still an obstacle. So you figure out how to get around the obstacle, or you decide, you know what, I don't think the efforts that I need to put in to get around this obstacle is worth it, and I'm gonna stop here. And there's nothing wrong with saying this is where I stop. There's plenty of times where you have to decide for yourself that the efforts you have to put into something isn't worth the rewards you'll get for it. And if that's the case, then fine. But you have to accept that you decided to stop. You didn't stop because racism, because sexism, because homophobia. You stopped because you decided to stop. And I feel like you do that and it brings it back to you, because you are in control now. I don't stop because you made me stop. I stopped because I decided to stop. There's a massive difference in how that works, in how that comes across. If I decide to stop, I'm in control of what I'm doing and where I'm going. If you decided I would stop, then I'm no longer in control of myself. And I'd rather take the attitude that says, I mean, look, there's always going to be things you can't control. That's life. But for as much as you can control in your own life, right, I'd rather do that. So, I don't know. I just rambled for however long. Hopefully that made some kind of sense. Use this clip in 10 years to cancel me over something. You know, there was these people around. I don't think anyone denies that, but sometimes you're also the problem, and too many people look at everyone else. Right, you know. It's like, let's say, for example, I want to be an actor, right? And I go to an audition and I don't get it. Now, I don't know why I didn't get it. I just know that I don't get it. They're going to tell me something like, oh, you wasn't right for the role, or we felt you were a little bit too tall, you were too short, blah, blah, blah. They're going to tell me something like that. I don't know if they're lying or not, right? For all I know, they're telling the truth. They could be lying. I don't know. All right, but the truth, bottom line is, I didn't get it. Now, maybe one day I noticed that I've been to 100 auditions and I didn't get any of them. And then the person who did get those auditions was a white guy. Like, maybe I see the TV show or the movie afterwards, and I noticed that every time I didn't get a play, the person who got it was a white guy. Now, could that mean that the productions are racist and they don't like black people? It could mean that. It's possible. It's possible. Or it could just mean that, you know, they just happen to be a white guy that got the role. The truth is, you don't really know, right? You can only speculate. You don't know for sure. And you don't know for sure until you know for sure. Until somebody comes up to you and be like, oh, I hate you, nigga. You know, until that happens, you don't really know for sure. You just have speculations. Now, your speculations could be correct. Your speculations could be incorrect. But the point I'm making for now is that the bottom line is you didn't get the role. And you make a choice. Do you either dwell on this idea of why you didn't get it and what the reasons are, and whether it's racism, whether it's this, whether it's that? You could either dwell on that and live in that area, or you could say, you know what, I didn't get it, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try another audition. I'm going to keep trying auditions. Maybe I don't get any auditions. Maybe I do what Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did, and write my own script and cast myself in the role. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take whatever little money I have and whatever little experience I have, and I make a short movie and cast myself in the lead role and put that out there and promote it as best as I can. You know, I'm just saying that there's so many things you can do that are within your control. Why dwell on the area that is outside of your control? That's what makes no sense to me. Like, it feels like a lot of people, or seemingly a lot of people, are choosing to dwell in these areas and focus on all these things that they can't control. Because, yeah, maybe you didn't get it because production was racist. That could very well be the truth, right? But in the end of the day, it's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, are you going to complain until they like black people? Like, what if they're racist? Then why are we going to be there anyway? Do you know what I mean? They did you a favor, quite frankly. Like, you wouldn't want to be there anyway if they're like that. So to me, it's just like, focus on the things you can control. You know, and by the way, to be clear as well, I'm certainly not suggesting we should just ignore the atrocities of the world and pretend things aren't happening. Of course not. But in the end of the day, it's like, there's going to be things you can control. There's going to be things you can affect, and there's going to be things that you can't control. And I just feel it's always best to focus on the things that you can control. You know, you can do that, and then you could elevate yourself and control where you go and control who you be around, and bring people around you that are going to help you, bring people around you that are going to be genuine, bring people around you that are trying to achieve the things that you're trying to achieve, rather than being so focused on this area of something you can't prove. And even if you could prove it, what are you going to do? They don't like you. Why do you want to be around somebody who doesn't like you? Maybe it's not because you're black, it's because they checked out your stream and heard your face. Yeah, well, that's just wrong. I can't make movies with people who think Die Hard is a Christmas film. They'll make a crap movie. They clearly know nothing about films if that's what they think. So yeah, they did me a favor by not taking me on. End up in some dumb movie that makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not trying to diminish anybody's experiences. But at the same time, I do feel like you always got to focus on the things that you can control rather than things that you can't. Because you can drive yourself miserable focusing on things that you can't do anything about. You know, I have a sign in my car, actually, in my when I do cab work. I have a sign in my car. And at the end of the sign, at the bottom of the sign, it says, if you're in a rush, then you're already late. So just enjoy the ride. That's what I put on the sign in the back of my car. If you're in a rush, then you're already late. So just enjoy the ride. Because you know what? If you're already late, it's like, look, you're already late. There ain't nothing you can do about that now. There's no point stressing over the things that you can't do nothing about. You're already late. So just enjoy the ride. And there's been quite a few people who appreciate that as well. They'll read it and they'll be like, you know what? You're right. You're right. They tell him, his own manners tell him to stay down. Oh. Rocky, Rocky. If I see anyone being racist to you, I'll be right there. I got, yeah, if anyone has anything to say about it, oh God, even so, you know, you got them too. Because I hate discrimination. I can't always assume it's that. Oh, no, for sure, for sure. Next time someone's being racist to me, though, I'm going to be like, let me send you to Sam. Let me send you to Sam. Sam says she's got my back, so alright, cool. Let me send you. You can deal with him. I mean, Apollo didn't take him too seriously, and it's showing. Rocky lasted all 15 rounds. To give a bit of my input, underage teens shouldn't be banned from social apps. We don't have been making our money off them, so that gives them a maturity and work ethic. I don't know if money gives you maturity, because sometimes making a lot of money, especially at a young age, can lead to very immature decisions, and I think we've all seen examples of that. So, but yeah, I mean, it could help promote a good work ethic, or you know, some level of maturity, but I feel like that kind of thing doesn't necessarily happen just because you have money. It's more like when someone else is there to kind of guide you and be like, hey, okay, we need to, you know, help you not make dumb decisions from here on out. Because, yeah, plenty of young people make a lot of money and do stupid things. So, how is this irony? I know a guy who told me I was going to because he's a Christian and also back. Sorry, one sec. part of it has been covered. Oh, L. Okay. Also back. Yeah, that's wild to me, to be honest with you. Like, when religious people say that sort of thing, because part of religion, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, I believe some other religions as well, though I couldn't confirm. But a part of it is being non-judgmental. You know, now, whether or not a person goes to heaven or hell, it's not for any of us to decide. You know, I mean, even by following all the rules to the best of your ability, you could at best only really hope that you've done enough for yourself to get into heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know that you're going. You just, because you don't know until the decision's made, right? So the truth is, like, none of us know where we're going. You know, I can tell somebody else where they're going. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Like, we can believe that, okay, by following these rules, this is what God has promised to us. Okay, cool. I believe that, you know. But then part of those rules is don't be judgmental, right? Part of those rules is don't be judgmental. Part of those rules is that God can forgive as God pleases. Part of those rules is that God can punish as God pleases. Right? So you never get to tell somebody else where they're going, because the truth is you don't even know where you're going. So yeah, that's wild to me when people say that, especially religious people, when they say that sort of thing. Like, you have absolutely no right or basis to make any kind of claim like that, regardless of what a person's done in their life, or what bad things they've done, or what things you don't like, or whatever. Like, you don't get to make that decision. You never get to, you know, tell somebody else anything, because it's just not up to you. But that was Rocky. Rocky, where the underdog took on the champion and lasted all 15 rounds. Actually, I was about to say only in the movies, but to be fair, there was a recent example where Anthony Joshua took on an underdog and lost. So yeah, not only in the movies, it happened in real life too. Happens in real life too. An underdog, a complete underdog who hardly anybody's even heard of, takes on a world champion and whoops his ass. I mean, in Rocky, it was a bit more realistic. Like, he just lasted the 15 rounds. He didn't actually beat him. But in real life, Anthony Joshua lost to somebody who looks like he trained by eating donuts. Like, that's crazy. But that's a true story. But that was Rocky from 1976, and boy, have things changed since 1976. That was a trip. That was a trip, mate. We'll talk about the Karens or that kind of stuff, and it's like, listen, Rocky seems like the type of film where, I mean, it's still around, like they're still making Creed movies, right? But Rocky seems like the type of film I feel like nobody kind of thinks in that way. But watching it again now, they cannot make this in 2023 or 2024. This would certainly not the way it's being made. Like, they would have to take out a lot of the comments that they made in this movie, and a lot of the characters might have to change a bit as well. But bruh, that was okay. I just think I just started filming again. I don't want to do that. There we go. But yeah, anyway, I like that movie. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it too if you're watching it along. And if you're not, then, well, check it out. It's a great film. But that was Rocky. So that was that. Let me switch over to this screen now. Just chat to y'all for a bit before we end. Let's come over here. Put this over here so I can see a bit better. And catch up with the chat a little bit. This is the day in time of social media, advancement in technology and whatnot, and both important and entertainment news being on social media, and they're living in this time is part of their life now. Well, indeed, like Azrael, his wife, however, is lovely. I don't get it. She might be like wondering why she married him. All that needs to be done is the parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles keeping close watch on what time for apps and chat rooms the teens are on, and have a parental notification lock on their devices. Yeah, you know, I actually use an app lock myself. I installed it myself. I chose to install an app lock on my own phone because I felt like my social media usage was just getting a bit too much. So I put an app lock on my phone and on my browser as well, my internet browser, where once it gets to 10 p.m. so now really, after 10 p.m. it locks off all social media sites, all social media apps, locks them off. I can't access no social media apps after 10 p.m. and it will stay like that up until 10 a.m. the next day. So yeah, between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. the next day, all my social media is just locked off. I decided to do it for myself because I just felt, you know what, this is getting a bit much, and I need to kind of control it. So like, it's really just like not checking social media before going to bed, and not checking it when I wake up. That's the real thing that I wanted to address. That I'm not scrolling through stuff when I'm trying to go to bed, and I'm not scrolling through stuff when I'm just waking up. So yeah, 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. the next day, lock off all social media. And yeah. So yeah, I'm totally in favor of people doing that, whether for themselves or for their kids or whatever. I can even tell you the app that I use is called, what's it called? It's called App Block. It's available on Android, Apple, iOS, and you can get it for web browsers as well. And I might sound like I'm sponsored by them. I'm not, but I just find it really useful. Really useful, because my social media use was getting a bit wild. So I was like, you know what, I need to lock it off, and I did. So yeah, definitely in favor of that. You're right on that, and I am right too on the part of them not asking or expecting money from their folks for them, whether if you're doing chores or for others or using games or social apps. That does teaches them a level of responsibility and maturity. Okay, so we talk about like working and their parents might give it. Yeah, okay, I think I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, there's certainly things you can learn like that. But like if you did like, I don't know, the chores, and I don't know, you did like you mowed the lawn or whatever, and your parents gave you, $5 for that. There's something you can learn from that in terms of working and receiving a reward for your work. But it could also backfire as well, and especially when you're talking about earning like lots of money for jobs or for doing something that seemingly doesn't take up a lot of time. Like a lot of these social media get rich quick things are things that typically don't take a lot of time, but they can yield a lot of money because of their popularity. And although that's not a bad thing, when you're young and you have that much money that quickly, it could often lead to bad decisions. In fact, even older people, like even adults, like you've seen like lottery winners, like I can't remember the statistic right now, but it's something like 70+% of lottery winners go broke in the first 5 years or something like that. Like it's actually pretty mad, because like when you have too much money too quickly and you're not really prepared for it, it can lead to bad decision making. So let me see something of lottery winners that go broke. Yeah, so yeah, 70%, according to Forbes, 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years. So it's like, yeah, it's a definite thing. It's great if you can do something that earns you a lot of money, but if you don't have anybody to help you and guide you, and you could end up just making a bunch of bad decisions, because like it's like you go from having nothing to literally having everything in like a day. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to get. It's a lot to adjust to. Used to make it 2 jobs for money. I'm a big fan of it. I always bought stuff she needed, but say if she wants money to see friends, etc., she had to do jobs to get it. So she like to try to do overtime to get more money out of you. You said 10 minutes. I did 15. I want more money. So I was like, damn it. No, I ain't got no money left. As other things goes, making that level of money and then entering the grown folks world, obviously need some assistance with that till they're of age. Yeah. Well, that's just it though. It's like even when you're older, like, because like if you think about lottery winners, I mean, first of all, you can't play the lottery until you're 18 anyway, so you're an adult if you win the lottery, right? So it's not even just about being older, it's just about, in fact, what's that saying that I heard? As a quote that I heard, it goes, anybody could handle adversity. If you really want to know a man's character, give him success or give him power or something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something along those lines. And I actually feel that's true. Like, you could handle being poor. Like, most of us could handle being poor. But being rich is a different mindset. Like, if you have £5, you learn how to handle that £5. But if you go from having £5 to £5,000, you know, that's wildly different. And if you're not ready to deal with that, like, it doesn't matter if you're young or at 25 or 35. If you've lived your life having £5 and learned how to handle having £5, then all of a sudden you got £5,000, like, just like that. That's a lot to adjust to, you know. So that's not even about a grown folk thing. It's just like the mindset of a person with millions has to be different to the mindset of a person who doesn't have that. And if you're not ready for it, if you're not used to that, like if you just went, like if you had £5 and then the next day you had £10 and the next day you had £15 and you kind of built it up over a period of time until you got to 5,000, you've learned how to deal with having more and more money along the way. But if you just go from literally having nothing to having everything in such a short amount of time, it's not even about, you know, being grown, and you're most likely going to make mistakes. And I feel like even myself speaking as somebody who's seen people do it, I'll probably do some dumb stuff as well if that happened to me. Like, I'm not even trying to act like I'm above that. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to act like I'm above doing stupid stuff if I all of a sudden just came to a ton of money just like that. I think most of us would, you know, as much as we might think we wouldn't. Oh yeah, I'll invest it, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and hopefully hopefully that's true. Hopefully that's true. I think the reality is though, is that as much as we can say that, we're not in that position, and it's easy to talk like you know what you would do when you don't actually have to make that choice. You know, it's very easy to talk about what you would do when you don't have to make that choice, but when it happens to you, it's a different thing. So, like, I'm not even trying to act like I'm above that. I'm just saying that this is a thing. Like, you go from having nothing to having everything in such a short amount of time, and there is a high chance that you're going to make some very bad decisions unless you've got somebody there to pull you by your ear and be like, hey, we're not doing that. It's 18 over here. It's 21. No, 21 is a drinking age in America. 18 is a adult age. Like, from 18, you're an adult, right, in America. I mean, you can join the army at 18, so I'd assume that's the age you're declared legally an adult, right? What age do you become a legal adult in USA? Yeah, 18. Oh, actually, there's a couple of states that have it set at 19. But yeah, 18 is most states, but a couple of states have it as 19. She has a new job now. She earns her own money. I had to ask her to help out the PS5. How the tables have turned. Or did she make you work for it though? Oh, how cool would that have been if you were like, hey, can you help me get some money for this PlayStation? And she's like, yeah. Clean the toilet. Clean the toilet. That floor needs waxing. Oh, please tell me she made you do some chores. Please. Please tell me she made you, like, do some chores, like, do her laundry for her or something. Clean the car. Clean out the gutters. You know, get on the roof and just clean all the gutters out. Get the leaves out. By hand. Oh, please tell me she made you do that. Please. Yeah, legally 21 is the age for playing lots of over. Oh, okay. So you become an adult at 18, but you can't play lots of. That's mad. You can join the army at 18 in America, but you can't play the lottery until you're 21. That is crazy. I mean, I don't know. We probably got some. I'm sure we got some dumb laws over here too. But wow, that is wild. I can join the army. I can join the military and fight for my country and potentially get killed. But if I want to play the lottery, I gotta wait a few more years. What's that giving birth? She owes me. For you, I'll lie and say yeah. Gambling. Wow. Life is a lesson. You learn it when you're through. Oh man. If you didn't do it this time, hopefully next time. Hopefully next time. Well, I'm not saying hopefully next time you need some money, because hopefully you don't have to. Ideally, you won't have to do that again. You'd have, the money you need for the things you want. But let's say you're in a position where you need some extra money again, and you go to Elle, and she's like, "Please." In fact, if Elle's still there, I don't know if she can hear me. If you could hear me, Elle, please. Next time your mom asks you for money, she's like, "All right, cool. Wax my shoes." The lawn needs mowing. Take care of that. Please. She can't hear you. Oh man. I need to try and send a message telepathically or something, like through like mind waves, so I can get a message across, like Professor X. Yeah, but for real though, it was like, I think when it comes to helping out your parents with stuff, like, as much as it could be frustrating sometimes or annoying or whatever and this and the other, I feel like, in all honesty, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Like, I mean, like you said, like you almost died giving birth to her, and and even when it's not, say, a complicated birth or anything, it's just the fact that this is somebody who raised you. You know what I mean? Somebody who brought you up in this world, and maybe they didn't have all the resources, and they didn't have all the things that you might have wanted, and they weren't maybe able to do all the things for you that you wanted, and there's plenty of times they would have pissed you off and all that kind of stuff, and that's just like the parent child relationship, how that goes. But I think we get your adult years, and you kind of look back on it, and hopefully you kind of realize that no matter how much your parents would have pissed you off and you would have pissed them off, that it's always been love there. Like, everything they've done for you is done out of love, and you know what I mean? And even though it might not always felt that way, you understand that as an adult. So like when your parents need help with something, even though it's not always, sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, because maybe like, okay, man, how many times you gotta, I mean, we all feel like that sometimes, like, oh man. But I think the bottom line is, once you kind of push that feeling to the side and be like, you know what, it's got to be done. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Like, whatever they need, you got to do it. Assume it's something within your abilities, of course. But yeah, you got to do it. Like, I mean, as much as like, sometimes it could be inconvenient, which sucks, of course, and sometimes, all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you got to do it. If it's something you can do, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like, because like, yeah, there's, what's that song? Tupac, Dear Mama. He says, "There's no way I can pay you back, but the plan is to show that I understand. You are appreciated." And like, I feel like that is true. That is true. It's not always easy to remember that. Not always easy to remember that, but I do think that is true. Like, there's no way you can pay your parents back for what they did for you. Well, I mean, shitty parents to aside. I know there's some shitty parents out there. We're not talking about those guys right now. But just in terms of like, the parents who like, did what they could, did the best they could. Like I say, it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be times where they piss you off, times where you piss them off, times where, you're angry at them and all that sort of stuff. But bottom line is, everything they did for you was done out of love. And when you can recognize that and realize that, when you get to your adult years, you realize there's no way you can pay them back. But you could try to show that you understand. And one of those ways is to, whatever they need, just do it. Just do it. A long time ago, people as young as 13, 14 could drive motorcycles. So took them to school. Well, but high school is way back then. Yeah, 14-year-olds riding motorcycles. Though I imagine back then the motorcycles probably weren't too powerful. Or I don't know, maybe they were. I mean, they probably smoked cigarettes back then too, to be fair. So she's a hit with the men in her new job, though a lot of them fancy her too bad. She's barking on the wrong tree. So you just spend a lot of time just like turning dudes down. Not tonight, Frank. Not ever either. It's 40, 50 plus years back. She was a star, took turns standing guard with rifles or shotguns outside the campus, keeping the school safe. Mate, I would not trust a student or a teacher with a rifle to keep anything safe. The way teachers are underpaid, they're not trying to keep nobody safe. Like, It's like, I mean, it's like security guards. You know, security guards are paid to look after, like, you know, to protect, like, you know, supermarkets, whatever. And even they're like, I ain't risking my life for this. Why would a teacher do that with their underpayment that they receive? Why would a teacher be like, yeah, I'm gonna take this shotgun and guard this school? Like, no, bruh. Anything happens, I'm like, you literally don't pay me enough. Like, you literally do not pay me enough. Like, teachers are so underpaid, and back 40, 50 years ago, they're probably even more underpaid. They're like 2 shillings an hour or something like that. Like, and you give them a shotgun and tell them to go guard the schools. Like, nah. Listen, somebody comes into school, it's like, I don't see nothing. And students, bro, students ain't keeping nothing safe. Students are letting the people in. Just like, slip me a $5 and I'll let you in. That is a terrible idea. I'm glad they don't do that no more. Well, I don't know. I assume that I'm hoping they don't do that no more. That is a horrible idea. We don't want to pay a security team, so we're going to give guns to students and staff and be like, yeah, keep the school safe. These underpaid staff and inexperienced kids. Like, nah, that is a horrible idea. She helped me with that because I never asked. So because she did that, she doesn't have to pay anything into the household for 2 months. Okay, so it's like you didn't actually. Okay, I gotcha. And your way of saying, hey, you know what? You helped me out. I want to help you out. You're good for the next 2 months. But come March, would it be March? Actually, it was. No way, it'd be February, really, isn't it? Because it's December, right? Good for the Christmas. So yeah, you got January. She got January and February off. Oh yeah, so come March. I was right the first time. Got January off, got February off. But come March, hey, your 2 months is up. You've had your grace. Charging a double. Hey, inflation, right? Now into the faculty and staff told the students if they and the gun in their cars, just always be sure to let them know about it. We were told by my science teacher back in high school. He said back then the maturity rate in teenagers were much higher and different than now. Yeah, that's probably true. But even still, that is a horrible idea. Like, I don't care how mature a teenager is. Give them a gun, tell them to look after the schools. Like, bruh. Bet them schools got robbed. People just be letting their friends in. Like, alright, just... Yeah, Mike's on guard. Mike's on guard. It's calm. Mike's on guard. Alright, guy, calm. Slip me a $5 and then slip me a $5. Big ones can blame inflation, so can I. Exactly. Hey man, time. It was a cost of living crisis, man. Everything's going up. Early 80s was an AIDS epidemic. So if you're not paying security experts to keep your school safe during an AIDS epidemic, and you're just giving guns to students and teachers, mate. Either bare people are getting shot on sight. Early 80s was like the start of the AIDS epidemic, because like when that really kicked off, like that was like the height of it, maybe like the early to mid 80s were the height of that AIDS epidemic, and they were giving guns to students and teachers, be like, yeah, keep school safe, yeah. Nah, that is lame, bro. That is nothing to be proud of at all. during a time when so many people were scared and didn't know what was going on, and there was so much misinformation, you know, about AIDS at the time, and nobody really understood it, and being told one thing, being told this thing, so much panic at that time. Yeah, and you thought it was a good idea to give guns to students and teachers. Be like, yeah, look up there, keep the school safe. Like, no, that is a horrible idea. That is a horrible, horrible idea. At the time they didn't. So they wanted to, yeah. So the AIDS scare and the crack era, which changed the streets. So it was the AIDS epidemic and a rising crack, and they were like, yeah, let's give guns to students and teachers. Ush. Well. I guess the students did it because it meant they got out of class, though. I mean, if you can get out of class for a little while and all you have to do is hold a gun and point it at people, it's like, yeah, I guess that's the reason why the students did it. Teachers probably did it because they just didn't want to get fired. They were like, oh man, I better agree to this. What time to being alive, though? Well, I was around during that time, actually. I don't remember much of it. I mean, I wasn't old enough to I wasn't old enough to be involved that directly, but I do remember the news at the time, and just how wild the news was, and all the rumors going around, and you know, nobody really had any kind of real kind of understanding, or it seemed at the time no one had any real kind of understanding of it. But I remember one of the rumors that was going around was that you can catch AIDS if you sit on a toilet seat, if you sit on like a dirty toilet, which of course is not true. That being said, you shouldn't sit on dirty toilets just anyway. It's not a good idea to be sitting on some dirty piss stained toilet. Like, no, clean the toilet. Like, clean your toilets, please. You won't catch AIDS from dirty toilets, but yeah, it still doesn't make it a good idea either. But yeah, that was the big one. Like, you catch AIDS from toilet seats, or you catch AIDS if you kiss a girl, and you know, stuff like that. That was one of the rumors. But yeah, man, it was a lot of noise and not a lot of real information until like much later on. Born in '85, don't remember any of it though. Yeah, because I guess by the time, I mean, if you're born in '85, then by the time, I guess your earliest memories would be from somewhere around 88, 89. And by then, I think by then, a lot of the noise would have died down. I mean, it was still around, of course. I mean, AIDS is still around now, of course, but I think by then, a lot of the big kind of hype news and, you know, that sort of, it sort of dies down a bit by then. You know, I just realized dies down is probably not the right word to be using. it simmered down by then. It calmed down by then. Yeah, a few sad stories during the AIDS scare. Some guy in his late teens, early 20s. Passed away from AIDS, and another young guy, Joseph Mora, passed away in 1974 from it too. Both their stories are on YouTube and Google. Pedro took stories to season 3 of The Real World. I think it was season 3. Pedro, vote for Pedro. Yeah. By the way, I'm about to say something that's either going to make you laugh or might make you sad, or maybe somewhere in between. I don't know, we'll see. But, you know, yeah, just a moment ago I was talking about the, you know, AIDS epidemic. Some of it I remember from the time. Other things I read relatively recently, like maybe a few years ago. I was reading back on that time. And the reason why I was reading back on that time is because, of course, we had the COVID pandemic a few years ago, right? So I was reading back on the AIDS epidemic and just kind of trying to refresh my memory and remember sort of things going on then. But one of the things that I saw in my readings about, you know, some of the information going on and, you know, the information being spread, given out, the information being given out by the health experts of what to do, and how some of that information turned out to be incorrect. But guess who was the main person, or maybe not the main person, but certainly one of the main people giving out advice on how to handle the AIDS epidemic during the early to mid 80s. Guess who wrote a whole document on what to do during the early to mid 80s in the AIDS epidemic? See if you recognize this name. Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci. You might have heard that name in recent years. But yeah, that was the guy who was telling people. And look, I'm not even, like I say, that might make you laugh. It might make you sad. It might, we'll see. But for me, it's kind of like, look, I get it. It was new. It was a new disease. People still learn about it. Mistakes were going to be made. It's somewhat inevitable, right? That's how I'm looking at it. It's somewhat inevitable. But I do find it, what I find hilarious is just the fact that when, you know, the COVID pandemic did happen, and of course the same guy was telling people what they should and shouldn't do and everything else, there has to be an understanding that, look, nobody's perfect, right? None of us, not even our experts, are perfect, and nobody's going to get things right all the time, clearly, right? And the way people, or at least some people, were touting this as the be all and end all, like this, the undisputable facts of how everything needs to be. The way people were like treating it like that, and it's like, that's the same guy who gave out wrong information some 40 years prior. It's like, I'm not even saying, look, it happens, I get it, people make mistakes, but if we could understand that people make mistakes, then maybe we could understand that what he's saying now, or what he's saying then, maybe, just maybe, that might not be exactly accurate too, because by the time we know more about this disease, we might be like, oh, actually, maybe that's not the thing to do, and maybe we need to do something else, you know. So I'm just saying, clearly as humans, we don't really learn from our mistakes. Oh, excuse me. Hey Max, so you don't want to tell us your age, but would you tell us if you was born in the 80s or 90s? Definitely not from the 80s, though it's the decades that interests me the most. My favorite part. My favorite one, apart from 90s, 2000s. So you're a 90s baby. Mid to late 2020, started to only trust my own choices myself and legit medical research. Gotta do your own homework now for sure. You always try to understand things yourself. I mean, that's always important. And you know, I'm not even trying to cuss the guy, because at the end of the day, he knows way more about this stuff than I ever would, right? So I'm not even trying to call him an idiot or call him. I'm really not. But it's just really just to say for me, like, look, even medical experts can get things wrong, you know, and nobody's opinion should be taken as anything more than that, which is an opinion. You know, and anytime you have a disease, or anytime you have anything really that is new, that, you know, people are still studying, that people are still trying to figure out what it is and how to best handle it, of course the information is going to change as you learn more about it. Like, that should be a given and an understanding. But it's more just the fact that, and to be fair, I don't think, at least to my knowledge, and maybe someone could correct me on this, but I don't think he ever said to himself that, you know, my way is the only way, or anything like that. I don't think he did, but, you know, I don't know. I'm probably not paying that much attention to all these people anyway, so maybe he did and I just missed it. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that, look, anybody can make a mistake. Even our experts can make mistakes, and you know, nobody's opinion should be taken as anything more than just that, an opinion, until you can actually show it's more than an opinion, until you could actually prove it as an actual fact. Then it is just that, an opinion. It don't matter if it's from me or Dr. Fauci, or, you know, from the weirdo down the street, you know, the hooker next door. Like, it don't matter whose opinion it is. It's just that it's an opinion. And nobody's opinion is more valid than anybody else's opinion, when all it is just an opinion. Well, if you are a 90s baby, that would put you about 30 years old, which is what I guessed. So if you're a 90s baby, that'll put you about the 30-year-old mark. Because if you're born 99, that would make you 25 this year, or 24, 25 this year. And if you're born early 90s, then you'd already be like 30, or mid 30s by now. So yeah, what did I say? I said about 30. I said approximately 30 years old. So late 20s to early 30s is what I said. So if you're a 90s baby, that would mean that I guessed correct to your age. I think we figured it out. I think we figured it out. Only years. First and final on you. Do all know that to be put in your body period. And say if I was, or if I was from the 2000s, you can take whatever you will. Yeah, keep on guessing, my guy. Well, here's the thing though. Okay, so you said you're not from the 80s. Now, if you're born in the 2000s, that would put you about at most 23 to 24 years old. So let's say mid 20s, right? If you're born in 2000s. You mentioned your mum's age a little while ago. So if you're born in the 2000s, then your mum would have been, shall we say, older when she had you. As in, like, you know, older to be given birth. Now, I ain't saying it's impossible. Clearly, we know that's not. It's not impossible for women to give birth when they get older. It's not impossible. But, you know, it's not. It gets a bit unlikely after a certain time. You know what I mean? It gets a bit unlikely. So I'm just saying. Based on knowing your mum's age, I'm guessing 90s. Either that, or, well, I guess it's a good thing your mum got through the birth okay. If you were born later than that. Adopted. All right, we're throwing that in there. Figure it out. You know, you'd like to believe that. All right. Well, I guess we'll just look out for more clues. We'll just look out for more clues to see if we can suss it out. I'm still guessing around 30s though. I'm still guessing around 30s, but well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm either right or I'm wrong. Maybe I'll never know. Yeah, if there's any clues at all. Well, there's always clues. Even when you don't realize you're giving clues, there's always clues. It's just whether I can spot them or not. Oh man, should get some lemsip or something, man. Damn. But until then, it is getting late. 90s, baby. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. But well, we may never. I feel like even if we're right, Brax is never gonna confirm it anyway. That's the thing. Even if we guess it exactly right, I don't think Brax is gonna confirm it. So we may never know, but I still feel like you're probably somewhere around 30, late 20s to mid 30s, like approximately 30. That's what I'm guessing, around that 30-year mark. So yeah, 90s, baby. I'm guessing that as well. But hey, it's up to you. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to. No problem if you don't. No problem if you don't, but. Like I say, we may never know. We might have to keep a sharp eye out for any slip-ups that Brax might make. Anything he says that gives away his age. We might have to keep like a real sharp eye on things you say. But well. Until then. But yeah, it's getting late, and you know what? Now that I'm streaming once a week, let me say this real quick before I get off. Going to bed early is a flex. Like, mate, I went to bed one time at like 9 o'clock. You know how much sleep I got? That was crazy. Like, I can even go to bed at like 10 o'clock. It's mad. Like, you sleep a lot. Like, it is, like, listen, going to bed early is a flex. You know, like, so... I'm not quite going to bed early today. It's fine. But I'm just saying, going to bed early is a flex. It might not seem like it. It might not seem like it, but I'm letting you know now. If you can get to bed before 10, if you can get to bed between 9 and 10 p.m., like actually go to bed and be lying down in your bed sometime between 9 and 10 p.m., that is a flex. That is a flex. But anyway. Guys, you've been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for keeping it lively. Next live stream next week, playing some video games, playing Breath of the Wild or whatever game that might change my mind on that time. A midnight snack, playing live video games on school or work nights. Flex. Nah. Back when you're a teenager, maybe. Back when you're like 16, maybe. But when you get to my age, bruh, listen, you're 30 right now. In about 10 years from now, you're gonna realize going to bed early is a flex. You're still young right now. You're maybe like 28, 29. Maybe. But yeah, you give it a few more years. You'd be like, you know what? It's 9:30. I'm good. I'm just gonna go lie down. I got things to do, but I'm just gonna go lie down anyway. But yeah, until then, until whenever, till next week, until whenever, if ever. Peace.